Welcome, dear and strong Taurus. August 24th carries a powerful message for you, and I want you to stay with me until the very end because what is being revealed now may help you understand something that has been happening behind the scenes. This is not about fear or assuming that everyone around you is against you. Instead, take this as a reflective spiritual message and keep only what genuinely resonates with your situation. Taurus, I feel a strong theme of truth coming into the light. Something that was unclear, something you may have questioned for a long time, is beginning to make more sense. You may have given someone the benefit of the doubt because that is simply the kind of person you are. You often prefer to see the good in people rather than immediately judge them. But August 24th asks you to trust your ability to recognize when something does not feel sincere. I keep coming back to the image of light passing through broken glass. The glass represents confusion, half-truths, hidden intentions, or situations that once seemed impossible to understand. But the light does not disappear because the glass is broken. Instead, it spreads in different directions, allowing you to see things from a new perspective. That is the message for you now. What was once hidden may become much easier to recognize. The numbers 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 777, and 1212 may stand out to you around this time. Whether you see these numbers or simply connect with their symbolism, the overall message is about clarity, balance, change, stronger foundations, and moving into a new chapter. You do not have to treat these numbers as guarantees of future events. Think of them as reminders to pause, reflect, and pay attention to what is happening in your own life. Taurus, there may be someone around you who has not always been completely honest with you. This could be someone you once trusted deeply, a friend, a relative, a coworker, or simply someone whose behavior has recently made you question their intentions. Perhaps they praised you to your face but criticized you elsewhere. Perhaps they acted supportive but secretly compared themselves with you. Whatever the situation may be, the important thing is not to become consumed by suspicion. Watch actions rather than words. You have probably learned that genuine support does not need to be complicated. A real friend does not need to compete with you in secret. A trustworthy person does not need to make you feel small in order to feel important. And someone who truly respects you will not repeatedly cross your boundaries and then expect you to ignore it. For some Taurus viewers, there may also be an old situation involving money, work, or responsibility that is finally becoming clearer. Perhaps someone was not completely transparent about spending, a financial decision, a promise, or something they agreed to do. Maybe you were made to believe that everything was fine when there were actually details you did not know about. If this resonates, do not react impulsively. Get the facts, protect your interests, and make decisions based on what you can verify. There is also a strong message around your work and ideas. You may have experienced a situation where someone did not give you proper credit, copied an idea, minimized your contribution, or made you feel that your efforts were not important. If that happened, remember something important. Someone else's attempt to take credit does not erase the work you actually did. Your value is not determined by whether another person acknowledges it. And Taurus, this is where your energy becomes especially powerful on August 24th. You are being encouraged to stop wasting your strength trying to convince people who have already decided not to understand you. You do not need to chase explanations from everyone. Sometimes the healthiest response is simply to observe, learn, establish a boundary, and continue moving forward. There is another interesting message around relationships. Some of you may be thinking about a person from your past who never completely expressed what they were feeling. Perhaps someone appeared distant, confused, or emotionally unavailable even though their actions suggested there was more beneath the surface. Maybe you never received the explanation you deserved. If that story still lives in your mind, August 24th brings an important reminder. You cannot build your future around words that were never spoken or answers that someone refused to give. You can acknowledge what you felt without allowing the unanswered questions to control your present. For others, this message may concern a relationship where you felt that someone was hiding something or behaving differently behind closed doors. Again, do not assume the worst. Look for evidence, communicate clearly, and protect your emotional boundaries. Your peace is worth more than endless guessing. I also feel a strong theme of comparison around you. Someone may have looked at your progress and compared their life with yours. They may have smiled while secretly feeling frustrated about where they were in their own journey. But Taurus, you are not responsible for another person's insecurities. You do not need to make yourself smaller so somebody else can feel comfortable. Your path is your path. Your timing is your timing. And your progress does not take anything away from someone else's opportunity to grow. The number 111 can symbolize a fresh beginning. For you, this feels connected to clearing away old confusion and creating space for something healthier. The number 222 represents balance, reminding you not to let another person's behavior pull you out of your center. The number 333 can symbolize guidance and awareness, while 444 connects with stability and rebuilding your foundations. The number 555 represents change, and this is particularly important for Taurus because you may be entering a period where an old pattern finally loses its influence over you. Then there is 777, which can symbolize truth, good fortune, and a sense of confirmation. And 1212 carries the feeling of stepping through a new doorway and leaving an old chapter behind. Notice how all of these themes lead to the same message. You are moving forward. The past may have taught you important lessons, but it does not get to write the rest of your story. Taurus, if someone has lied to you, betrayed your trust, underestimated you, or failed to appreciate you, you do not have to spend the rest of your life waiting for them to admit it. Sometimes closure comes from understanding yourself rather than receiving an apology from someone else. You can say to yourself, yes, that happened. Yes, it hurt, but it does not control me anymore. That is real strength. And I want you to pay attention to something else on August 24th. Your intuition may feel sharper. Not because you should assume something mysterious is happening, but because experience teaches us to recognize patterns. When someone repeatedly behaves differently from what they say, you notice it. When a situation does not make sense, you question it. When something feels unhealthy, you learn to step back. That is wisdom. You do not need to label everyone as fake. You simply need to become more selective about who receives your trust. There is also a beautiful financial message here. Taurus is naturally connected with stability, security, and building something that lasts. If you have been worried about money, this reading encourages you to focus on practical decisions rather than fear. Review your spending, protect what you have, avoid unnecessary risks, and think about your long-term goals. A new opportunity may become clearer when you stop allowing distractions from other people to consume your attention. In your career, the same message applies. Your work deserves consistency. If someone does not recognize your effort immediately, keep developing your skills. If an opportunity closes, do not automatically assume that your future is closing with it. Sometimes one door closing forces you to notice another one that you were previously ignoring. And emotionally, Taurus, you are being asked to release the need to prove yourself. You already know what you have survived. You already know how much you have learned. You already know how far you have come. You don't need to explain your worth to everyone who questions it. August 24th feels like a turning point in that sense. The focus is shifting away from, why did they do this to me? And toward, what am I choosing for myself now? That is a much more powerful question. If someone has been bringing unnecessary drama into your life, you can step away. If someone repeatedly disrespects your boundaries, you can create distance. If someone does not celebrate your progress, you can stop looking to them for validation. And if someone from your past continues to occupy too much space in your thoughts, you can consciously return your attention to your own life. Your future deserves your energy more than your past does. So, Dear Taurus, as you move through August 24th, remember the central message. Clarity is replacing confusion. Your boundaries are becoming stronger. Your understanding of people is becoming deeper. And an old chapter does not have to follow you into a new one. You may discover that something you once considered a painful mystery was actually a lesson teaching you to trust yourself. You may realize that losing access to certain people was not necessarily a loss of your future. And you may finally understand that peace does not come from knowing every secret. Sometimes peace comes from knowing enough to move forward. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to write 111, 222, or 555 in the comments, whichever number speaks to you most. And if you enjoyed this reading, support the channel by liking the video and subscribing so you don't miss the next Taurus message. Most importantly, Taurus, keep your heart open but keep your boundaries strong. Be kind, but do not ignore repeated disrespect. Forgive when you are ready, but do not confuse forgiveness with allowing someone to hurt you again. Learn from the past, but do not live inside it. August 24th is about stepping into greater clarity, greater balance, and greater confidence in yourself. What was confusing can become clear. What was unstable can become stronger. What was holding you back can finally lose its grip. And the next chapter does not need to look like the last one. Keep moving forward, dear Taurus. Your story is still unfolding, and this time you are choosing the direction.